Happy Saturday, CJ Curry here, back with another PrizePicks video. We were able to extend our hot streak, our heater that we've been on, to a nice little 13-3 run over our last few videos. We went 2-1 on yesterday's video, hitting on Julius Randle over 13.5 rebounds and assists, missing on Dennis Schroeder at more than 2.5 rebounds, but we did get Jalen Suggs to go under 19.5 points and rebounds. So our overall record was 2-1 in yesterday's video. Hopefully you tailed some of those picks and profited along with me. Now, as I mentioned, we are on fire here lately. Not only are we on fire with the picks going 13-3 in the last few videos, but we're also on fire with our subscriber count and with the likes and the views. And so I encourage you, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and get subscribed. I've been dropping these videos, these early first look videos each and every day, and you guys seem to be loving them. Yesterday's video, I think, had over 11,000 views. Let's see if we can match the likes and the views from yesterday's video. Let's try to get in those 5-figure views and over 400 likes like we did on yesterday's video. Appreciate all you guys though. The support has really been tremendous, especially over in Dub Club. If you guys are looking for a family-friendly community full of like-minded individuals, sports fans who are betting on sports, guys, this is the community for you. For just 67 cents per day, $20 per month, however you want to break it down, you could be a part of this community. I'm posting picks. We've got community members posting winning picks each and every day. So if you want to save some time and win more together with Dub Club, I encourage you to join the community. They'll start you off with a 3-day free trial, and then from there on, it's just 67 cents per day. So definitely check it out if you're not already a part of a Kick Butt community and you want to be. All right, taking a look at today's PrizePicks board. Guys, PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. It lets you choose the more or less on your favorite players and their projections. You can choose up to 6 different players and then win up to 25 times your money. If you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, promo code Curry still gets you that 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit. So take advantage of that deal. Go down to the description of today's video. I've left a special link. Use that code Curry, and get started on PrizePicks. All right, we got 3 picks. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. It was painful trying to dig up 3 picks. In fact, I was only going to go with the first 2 picks here. So we're going to make this third one just an honorable mention. It's going to be one that, pending injury news, we might want to go ahead and jump on. So let's go ahead and start things off here with Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers at 31.5 points and rebounds. He's going up against Golden State. We just saw these 2 teams face off 1 game ago. They're going to be playing again tonight. Kawhi versus the Warriors. So taking a look at props.cash. You've seen me use this, guys, in a number of my recent videos here. Props.cash, a fantastic tool for player prop research that allows you to really dig in, get into the stats, the guts of these different player projections, and figure out if you should be going for more or less on the different props. And in this case, Kawhi Leonard, you see a lot of red. And on props.cash, red means bad or under in this case, where green means good or over. So in this case, he's played a total of 18 games this season, only going over 31.5 points and rebounds in 5 of 18 games. So he has not done so well with covering 31.5 points and rebounds, to say the least, going under in 13 out of 18 games, averaging just 27.8 points and rebounds in that 18-game span. So that's what you have to kind of look forward to with Kawhi Leonard. Now, we've been using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer as well. It's another one of the go-to tools in my toolkit. And right now, as of what time is it? 2:48 a.m. on the East Coast. Kawhi Leonard is at 31.5 points and rebounds. 53.88% chance that he's going to go under based on the sportsbook odds. Now, if you take a look at a lot of these sports books, they're already moving off of Kawhi Leonard at 31.5 points and rebounds. They're moving off of him at 31.5 and down to 30.5. So we should take advantage of that, right? Because there might be a little bit of a misprice here. PrizePicks might have him just a little bit too high at 31.5 points and rebounds compared to all the other sports books out there. We're going to assume that those sports books lines makers, the guys who set the lines, are pretty good at their job, right? They don't want to get fired, so they're trying to set as good of a line, as sharp of a line as possible. So you're already starting to see most of them move off of the 31.5 and move it down to 30.5. So I think there's a little bit of value, a little bit of an opportunity here for us to get in on the under for Kawhi Leonard at 31.5 points and rebounds. Now, we know it's a plus EV play. We know he hasn't done a great job of going over 31.5 PR, so we're thinking about taking the under. So let's look at some projections here for Kawhi Leonard. We're going to start by looking at Fantasy Labs. Fantasy Labs has some very nice projection models, some of the best in the game in my opinion, and they've got Kawhi Leonard at 29.7 projected points and rebounds, which obviously puts him well under the 31.5 PR mark. Now, if we swing over here to another projection site that I really like, which is RotoWire, they've got Kawhi Leonard projected all the way down at 28.43 points and rebounds. That's 3 points lower than his line of 31.5, where he currently sits on PrizePicks. So we got two different projections so far for Kawhi Leonard going under his PR. Let's check one of these free sites. This one in this case is called NumberFire. You guys who have been here before have seen me use this in previous videos. Let's go ahead and punch in the points, 21.2 plus the rebounds, in this case 6.2, brings him to just 27.4 projected points and rebounds. Guys, I don't know about you, but all the projection models have Kawhi Leonard well under 31.5 points and rebounds. He hasn't covered it a whole lot this season, and I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be considering taking less on Kawhi Leonard in this case. Now, if you think that for some reason he's going to ball out in this rematch, in this back-to-back against the Warriors, well, hey, I'm not here to twist your arm. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm just here presenting the data, presenting the facts. You do with it what you will. But for me, I think Kawhi Leonard makes for a fine underplay based on what we've seen here. Now, the second pick, Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's taking on the Houston Rockets. This will be the second time that the Lakers and Rockets have met this season. Anthony Davis currently sits at 2.5 assists. I have a feeling that if this pick right here starts to take off, in other words, if there's a lot of juice, a lot of momentum, a lot of money coming in, that you won't see PrizePicks just bump this up from 2.5 to 3 assists. I have a feeling, much like Dennis Schroeder and his rebounds yesterday at 2.5, that this will probably get taken down from the PrizePicks board at some point if it gets too hot. So let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick before we go and get our head of ourselves. Anthony Davis at 2.5 assists. He's played a total of 18 games this season with LeBron James alongside of King James. And in those 18 games, he's actually gone over 2.5 assists in 67% of them. That's a 12 out of 18 hit rate. Pretty darn good hit rate. And even the games where he doesn't go over, once again, like some of the picks we've looked at here previously in recent videos, he's at least knocking on the door for 2 to 3 assists per game. I mean, there's only been one game where he didn't record a single assist. All the other games, he's had at least 2 assists or better. And most of the games, he's had the or better part. Now, also taking a look here at what he's done against the Houston Rockets. As I mentioned, this is the second time that they've met this season. Don't worry about this game log on the left. That was from last season. This season, he had 3 assists in their previous matchup back on November the 19th. So he did go over 2.5 assists against the Rockets in that game. One other thing that I want to point out, games in which he's played alongside LeBron James and also playing at home in LA, you can see the hit rates are very, very good for Anthony Davis playing in front of the Los Angeles Lakers fans. 6 for 8 or a 75% hit rate with a nice 3.3 assists per game average in those home games alongside of LeBron. So looking like a really nice play here thus far with Anthony Davis. Let's go ahead and take a look at where he's at on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And again, this tool, absolutely a game changer. If you're not using it yet, I would highly recommend that you give it a shot for at least a month. I've left a link down in the description below. This is the tool right here that is influencing the PrizePicks lines for the most part. When you see stuff get moved up, when you see stuff get moved down or completely taken down, like this Anthony Davis assist prop is probably going to do, it's because of this tool right here. I'm just warning you. You got to have it in your arsenal. It's almost a must-have if you're playing on PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of the other daily fantasy pick'em sites. But Anthony Davis in this case, 53.8% chance of going over 2.5 assists. So is it a plus EV play? You bet your ass it is. There's a lot of juice coming in on the over for Anthony Davis at just 2.5 assists on all the different sports books. So we can confirm that this is a plus EV play. Now let's confirm that the projections are looking good for the brow. And we're going to do that by going over here to Fantasy Labs and just punching in Anthony Davis's name. 3 assists on the first projection, which has him going over 2.5. Anything 3 or higher on these projection models, and we should feel a little bit more confident about taking the over on AD at 2.5 dimes. This next projection, RotoWire, 3.3 assists on a line of 2.5. So yes, once again, he is projected to get at least 3 assists or better. And we'll wrap this up by going over to Number Fire. In this case, Number Fire's got Anthony Davis at 3.1 assists as well. So that's a sweep. That's 3 out of 3 projection models that we've checked here that we have access to that have Anthony Davis going for more than 2.5 assists. Again, if you don't like it for some reason, please don't take it. I'm not here trying to tell you what to do with your money. I'm simply looking at the facts. And the facts are looking rather green and good here for Anthony Davis to go over 2.5 assists against the Houston Rockets. Now, I told you that it was kind of hard for me to find a third pick. I like to give you guys at least 3, sometimes 4, but at least 3 when I do these videos. So this last one, we'll call it an honorable mention. If you want to take the wait and see approach because you want to wait for the Brandon Miller injury news, I don't blame you. That's probably the approach I'll take, or I'll flex these 3 picks together. And I know what you're thinking. Some of you are like, hey, why do you flex a 3 pick? Because it's early and a lot of news could still come out that could impact the line here for Terry Rozier. But here's what I'll tell you. Early on, 23.5 points and rebounds for Terry Rozier looks like a pretty sweet line because we're already starting to see some of the lines, some of the movement here for Terry Rozier at 24.5 points and rebounds. So we are getting a bit of value here at this 23.5 points and rebounds line. Let me show you some game logs here for Terry Rozier. Now, he's been a little bit banged up. He's been injured. He's missed some games for the Charlotte Hornets this season. So, you know, we're going to do our best to kind of make sense of this line of 23.5 points and rebounds. Here's what we got. He's played in 8 games this season. 5 out of 8 games, he has gone over 23.5. He's averaging almost 26 points and rebounds per game in that 8-game span. The most recent game, in fact, was a game without LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball will not play in tonight's game. So if we click this little button here on props.cash in the with or without section, you go without LaMelo Ball because he's going to be out. You can see that Terry Rozier has now played in 2 games this season without LaMelo. The most recent game, 41 points and rebounds against the Brooklyn Nets without LaMelo Ball. Now, it's a pretty small sample size, just 2 games, right? Another thing that we could do is we could go back to the entire 2022-2023 season. And when we do take a look at that, you could see that he played quite a few games without LaMelo Ball that season, last season. In fact, 32 games without LaMelo Ball. And in 24 out of those 32 games, he went over 23.5 points and rebounds. That's a 75% hit rate and an average of 26.7 points and rebounds per game. Now, obviously, the team is a little bit different this season. You've got, obviously, rookie Brandon Miller in the mix. Miles Bridges, there you go. Miles Bridges is back in the mix as well for Charlotte. Now, one other thing that we could do, we could go games with Miles Bridges. So looking back at last season, games without LaMelo Ball, but with Miles Bridges, there really wasn't a lot of games. I mean, you have 2 games that kind of fit that bill. So again, some inconclusive data, some very small sample sizes, but here's what we can do. We go over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer again, and we'll just type in Terry Rozier's name. And when we run the numbers on Rozier, as I mentioned, 23.5 points and rebounds on PrizePicks, but he's at 24.5 points and rebounds on every major sports book. I'm talking FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM. They've all got him at 24.5. So maybe PrizePicks is asleep right now because it is 3 a.m. going on 3 a.m. on the East Coast here. So maybe they're asleep and they haven't decided that they're going to bump his lineup. But you got a 54% chance as of right now that he's going to go over his 23.5 points and rebounds. If you want to take the wait and see approach and wait for Brandon Miller to be ruled out before taking the over on Terry Rozier, like I said, I can't blame you. But I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in the value here at 23.5. But before I do that, let's look at some projections, because we want to see how the projection models are stacking up here for Terry Rozier. Now, he's projected for 23.3 points and rebounds here on Fantasy Labs. Now, if this gets bumped up to 24.5 points and rebounds, I don't know. I'm a little bit more hesitant on taking the over at 24.5. But at 23.5, while the line's still low, we can probably jump in at 23.5 and feel okay about it. Let's check a second projection, though. I'm curious to see what RotoWire has him at. And they've got him all the way up at 25.3 points and rebounds. So a much favorable projection on RotoWire versus Fantasy Labs. So he is projected to go over by almost 2 points and rebounds there. And then once again, we'll head over to NumberFire and just check the projections there. Let's whip out the calculator. They've got him at 20.6 points. And then we add in the rebounds, in this case, 4.2 rebounds. And that puts him at 24.8 points and rebounds. So like I said, if you're getting him at 23.5, that's probably pretty good. If Brandon Miller ends up being in, you could see his line go from 24.5 PR back down to 23.5 PR. But if Brandon Miller gets ruled out, I think his line gets elevated and stays up there around 24.5 points and rebounds. So what am I going to do here? I think I'm going to go back to Terry Rozier, and I'm going to go more on Rozier for right now. But I would probably flex anything that includes Terry Rozier. If you wanted to just take the first two, Kawhi and Anthony Davis, and power them together, you could do that. Or you could take them and put these two into a bigger entry. Maybe you want to make yourself a 5-pick flex or a 6-pick flex. Shoot for that 10x payday or that 25x payday. I don't blame you for doing that as well. But those are your options. Kind of slim pickings early on, but hopefully I did my best in providing you with a couple of winners. Let me know what your comments are on these picks. Did you win with me last night? Are you liking tonight's picks? I like to hear from you guys. I answer and respond to every single comment, so we'll chat it up down here in the comment section. All right, good luck, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out.